and I am talking to those of us from our continent, we should be able to eliminate the barriers that currently impede our ability to work together, to trade together, to invest together. We all know that the level of intra-Africa trade has been impeded by our inability to work together. As you work on these digital identity management systems, you must be sensitive to the fact that Africa is lagging behind in matters of trade between ourselves. Our identity ecosystem must facilitate us to actualize the tenets and the principles of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area that provides us an opportunity to trade, to increase intra-Africa trade from currently less than 10% to where Europe and the rest of Asia and the Americas are around 50, 60%. We can be able to unlock huge potential in our economies by facilitating the movement of people, goods, and services in our continent and be able to unlock the great potential that exists in our continent. It will also give us the opportunity to balance trade between our continent and the rest of the continent. It will also enable us to make a contribution to world trade and commerce and business. Today, we are contributing less than 3% of world trade. It's not that we do not have tradable goods. It is not that we do not have the men and women to do it. It is because we are not working in concert. We are not working with synergy. And hopefully the professionals who are here from our continent will want to appreciate that going into the future, we must make the world better by making our contribution. We have 17% of the population as we talk, yet we contribute only 3% of world trade. We must up our game, and hopefully those of us who are here can begin to talk together and work together, work in concert, work in synergy, so that we can unlock the potential that exists in our continent and also be able to meaningfully contribute to the progress and the prosperity of the world by making our contribution to world trade, world commerce, and world enterprise.
Like I said in a previous video that President William Ruto is somebody I really admire. I followed him a lot. I watch most of his speech, and I think that he is someone who is really, really intelligent. And I hope that he will have the opportunity to really deliver on his promises, to really make sure that Kenyans get only the best. Because I think that William Ruto is a guy with many progressive ideas. Now, coming back on the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, this is something that has been ongoing for many, many years now. And like I have said, if there's one thing that is so common with most Africans, if not all, is the slowness on how we do things. We bring up ideas, very, very good ideas. We deliberate on these ideas like for many years. And when it gets to the point of implementation, everything just kind of dies down. It's very common in Africa. Even in my home country, it's like so common. Like you can find it like every single where. The government will come up with some very, very great ideas. And you would think that, wow, these people have finally wake up from slumber. They will deliberate on ideas. They will call in the experts. The experts will give them their opinion about the whole thing. And when you thought that these people will finally implement what they have been discussing for many, many years, then they will just drop everything. This Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement is something that is very great. Africa must learn to trade within herself. The 54 countries in Africa must learn to trade within themselves. If we have this Continental Free Trade Agreement, it's going to really bolster our economy and our position in the world. We must be able to trade among ourselves. We must be able to have this free trade agreement among ourselves. America has the same thing, I think, with Mexico. Europe, they have the same thing among European member states. Even in Asia, I think ASEAN has something like that. Only in Africa that we do not have something like this. We must trade among ourselves. We have a lot of potentials that if we trade among ourselves, we are going to build ourselves much more faster. Coming to also the identity issue, when they talked about the free movement of persons in Africa, like an Africa without barrier or without borders, this also has been floated for many, many years. Like Africa should have a common passport, right? And until now, that still hasn't been achieved. Some countries complain of criminality. Other countries complain of having people from other countries flooding their countries and so on and so forth. In fact, people just complain and complain and complain. When you look through the European Union, do you think all those states are the same in terms of economy? Do you think all those member states in the European Union are equal or are the same in terms of financial power? Do you think all those states within the European Union are the same in terms of security? No, they are not. The thing is, one country supports the other. We might not bring in the same thing, but we all will bring in something that we put together. It's like having a family. The wife brings in this, the husband brings in this, the children bring in this. We all contribute something that help us to build the kind of society that we want. If we just keep on talking about how people from other countries would flood our own countries and thereby cause a lot of crimes, we will not go anywhere. We won't go anywhere. So it's high time we, the Africans, especially us, the young people, start talking, start championing this cause of African unity, start telling our leaders, our people, that African unity is something that we all must pursue, is something that we all must stand behind, because it's something that is going to benefit the African continent. We all must stand behind this. We must. But you guys out there, what is your take on this whole thing in Africa, whereby politicians or diplomats or African leaders bring in smart ideas but fall short of implementing them? How has the divide and rule policy in Africa destroyed Africa? Would there be any great benefit if Africa could unite? If there was a common passport for all Africans, if there was a common ID for all Africans, if there was no border within the African continent, which means that people can move freely from one country to another, will that negatively or positively influence Africa? Share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below, because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. And also, don't forget to like this video, share this video, follow our Facebook page, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel because little bit of good way, like the one you've just done, help us a lot and we shall forever be grateful to you. So thank you very much for doing just that. And like always, see you in the next one.